It's already been over a month since the Nintendo Switch 2 has officially launched, and today I'm gonna be giving you guys my little review for the Switch 2. Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jayyster. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. If you guys like this video, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. We're well on our way to 9K subscribers. Every like and comment on this video does help out with the algorithm. Really do appreciate it. Yeah, today I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts on the Nintendo Switch 2, from the design to the launch games to the pricing, the specs, what I like, what I dislike. So yeah, sit back, relax, and let's talk about the Nintendo Switch 2, shall we? So yeah, it's been over a month and I've actually been enjoying it. I've actually been playing pretty much two games, of course, Mario Kart World and Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma. And yeah, we'll talk more about those later down the line. But yeah, I want to talk about the form factor and the design for the Switch 2, which I think they definitely nailed it. Not a huge drastic change to the console itself. It's more so a refresh, which is a good thing. You know, what else can they do to make it look drastically different from the Switch 1 without making it look ugly or anything like that? If you guys look at other handhelds like the Steam Deck or the Rogue Ally, those consoles, yeah, they are kind of powerful, but they are pretty thick. So I don't know, I don't own one. I don't know how they feel long-term playing it handheld or anything like that. But from what the Switch 2 is able to output, 4K, that's in dock mode, of course, but still in handheld, or just the overall look of the console being super slick, super thin, is a pretty big plus in my book. So yeah, the design, I think they nailed it. The console looks sleek, beautiful. I like the color. I like the fact that this one actually attracts less fingerprints than the previous Nintendo Switch models. Yeah, the glass itself does attract fingerprints easily, but that's pretty much a lot of glass displays or displays in general. But I just like the fact that the console itself doesn't attract as much fingerprints, because it is kind of annoying at seeing your greasy fingerprints all over the console within, you know, the lifespan of it. So we'll see how it lasts in the longevity of it. But already with a month using it, you can't even see any, you know, fingerprints or anything like that on it, which is really cool. I really like that. So yeah, the design, the look of the console is absolutely phenomenal. A really big plus. We're going to talk about one of the big things that the Switch was getting a lot of hate for online, and that's of course pricing and game pricing. Now, I honestly think the console itself, I never had a problem with the pricing on the console itself. It's an upgrade for what it is actually able to do. I think the price it's fair, $450 for the console itself. I did go ahead and purchase the Mario Kart bundle, which was $499. Now, straight up, I was not planning to buy Mario Kart World if I wasn't able to get the bundle, because I'm not going to be spending $80 on Mario Kart World. I don't think personally it's worth it. You know, it is a cool game, don't get me wrong. It looks good, it performs good. It wasn't nothing much drastic from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I didn't own it, to be honest. I know my brother owned it and we would play it in his console, and it was a lot of fun. But for what I was able to play, it's definitely not a huge improvement. They did incorporate the open world, which was pretty lackluster. They didn't do pretty much anything with it. You're just able to free roam. They didn't add like no missions or anything like that. There is some simple basic challenges that you can do, but come on, Nintendo, I think you could have done much more, especially pricing the game at $80. You could have been a little bit better, but my problem was with the pricing of the games. It's a mess when it comes to the pricing of the games. You have games that are 80, Mario Kart World. You have games that are 70, some games that are 60. And then you have games that are getting Switch 2 upgrades like Zelda Breath of the Wild, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which again, I really do think that Nintendo is very greedy when it comes to all that stuff. You have other games like on the PlayStation 5, Xbox that get updates and they're free. They never charged for them usually. And everything that Nintendo, when it comes down to their games, they were charging a upgrade fee. You're gonna have a $20 upgrade fee to Super Mario Party Jamboree, which is not gonna add a whole lot. Like, they're not adding any new boards, or I think they are adding mini games, but they're gonna be tied up to the mouse functions of the Nintendo Switch 2, which definitely does not attract me. I really wish they were actually gonna add more boards, more mini games in general, but that's not going to be the case. So that's kind of a letdown. And then you have games like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet that actually did get free upgrades, which is really cool. The fact that you can actually play a Pokemon game finally with better resolution and better frame rates, that's awesome. I cannot wait for Pokemon Legends ZA. So I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, pricing has been all over the place when it comes to the Switch 2. I really wish that they just stood to $70 and $60 games Mario Kart World was definitely not $80 worth in my opinion. But that's just me. In terms of the launch games for the Nintendo Switch 2, yeah, there were little to none, if I'm being honest. Of course, like I said, you have Mario Kart World, which is fun, but there's only so much that you can do. Unless you absolutely love Mario Kart World and you play that a lot online, then it'll be worth it for you. But for me, I like playing it from time to time, especially when it comes down to like Thanksgiving, Christmas, playing it with the family. That's when it's more like gonna be shining for me during the holiday season, playing it with family. But the game that I actually really got stuck to and really enjoying, that I've been putting a lot of time into, is Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma. I actually picked it up physically. Thankfully, they actually had one, no game key card, and we'll get into game key cards later. And yeah, I've been really enjoying it. It's a action adventure anime style life sim slash farming sim game. So if you guys are into games like Stardew Valley, if you guys are fans of anime, this was gonna be right up your alley. I was kind of optimistic. I did see reviews before buying it, and I was kind of on the fence. It is a $70 game. So I said, you know what the hell, I got a Switch 2. Let me go ahead and pick it up, try it out. It did look interesting enough to go ahead and pull the plug, and thankfully I did. I've been really enjoying it on the Switch 2. It's a wholesome, nice, cute little cozy style type of game. Again, if you guys are into anime, then you're gonna like this one. You're given the chance to be a male or a female. You're dropped into this world and you end up being a chief of 4 villages: Spring Village, Summer Village, Autumn, and Winter. And you pretty much gotta make friends, gather people, get them to go to your village. It does have skill trees involved. So the game does get kind of deep. Nothing too crazy. It's not super open world, but there is dungeons. There is other islands that you can fly to and explore, find new things to unlock, recipes, build your village. There's a lot of things that you can customize, from farming, building crops, putting trees, buildings. So there's a lot to it, and I really like it. It's a very cozy style anime-ish game that definitely fits the Nintendo Switch, and I'm glad I picked it up. It looks and runs, again, really good on the Switch 2 at 60 FPS. I think it runs at 1080p on handheld, if I'm not mistaken. Now, one thing that I do hope we get with a refurbished, I guess, version of the Switch 2 in like, what, 2-3 years, 4 years, is I can't wait for this. Like, I think the Switch 2 is a phenomenal device as it is, but I cannot wait where you're able to actually play games handheld at 1440p, 60 plus FPS. Now, when it gets to that form, I'm going to be really happy. Again, the games look good right now. It is rocking a HDR LCD screen. It is not OLED, but it does have HDR, which I've heard. I'm not a person that's too deep into HDR or screen resolutions and the peak brightness and all that specs when it comes to screens. But I have seen videos of people that are more into it saying that the HDR on the Switch 2 is nothing too crazy, nothing too bright. It does make the colors a little bit more brighter, but nothing too crazy. But nonetheless, the screen looks great. No problems. Colors look good. They pop. And maybe with the Switch 2.5, whatever they're going to call it, the next iteration of the Switch 2, we get an OLED screen. We get handheld at 1440, 60 plus FPS. When we get to that point, I think it was going to be the sweet spot for the Switch 2. But nonetheless, it looks awesome as it is. And I've been really enjoying Guardians of Azuma and Mario Kart World. But of course, we have Donkey Kong Bonanza right around the corner. And if you are someone that's actually been holding off on the Switch 2 because, again, there isn't many launch games, you have Cyberpunk, which is really cool that it is on the Switch 2 running at pretty solid frame rates. You have Cyberpunk, you have Street Fighter, games like that. If you're someone that's just in only the Nintendo Switch ecosystem, then those games are going to be right up your alley. But someone like me that plays on PC, PS5, Xbox, all those third-party games, I rather play on those consoles, PC and all that, because I'd rather play at a much better resolution and frame rate, to be honest. I'm more so here for some third-party games, but more so first-party games from Nintendo, like Donkey Kong Bonanza. That one looks absolutely awesome, and I cannot wait to play that here. And I'm sure as the library grows, we have Metroid Prime 4 in the horizon as well. That looks awesome. So yeah, all those games I'm definitely going to be picking up and most likely live streaming here on the channel. So if you guys want to see me play those games, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification so you guys get notified whenever I post a new video. But yeah, those games, as the library keeps piling on for the Switch 2, it is going to keep getting better. And I am hearing that there are rumored to have a Nintendo Direct sometime soon, and we have a Pokemon Presents right around the corner in July as well. So hopefully we get some announcements there as well. So let's get into more of the positive and negatives on the console. I know I've been kind of actually giving positive feedback on the console already, but let's just get a little bit more nitpicky and talk about those positive and negatives. Now, the first one is, of course, like I said, the design. I think it's sleek. The form factor is good. In the hand, yeah, I have big hands. I am about 6 feet tall. When I do play it laying down, my hands do get kind of tired and crampy with like an hour of gameplay, so I got to stretch my hands. But you can, of course, buy a grip to fix that, problem. So form factor, I like it. It's nothing crazy. It looks awesome in the hand, feels good. And we have the upgraded kickstand, which you can actually play way better in tabletop mode. So there's the kickstand, really cool. I like the upgraded kickstand. Of course, being able to play this 60 FPS in handheld with improvements like 1440p 60 or 4K dock mode. So that's really cool. It feels really premium in the hand, doesn't feel cheap, kind of hefty. So yeah, very good build quality overall. I do really like the magnetic Joy-Cons. So being able to just easily being able to take them off. I thought attaching the Joy-Cons on the original Switch was very satisfying. It's even more satisfying with the Switch 2. Being able to just release them just like that easily with the magnetic button here in the bag is really cool. It's very simple and easy to put on. Now, there is some give to the magnetic Joy-Cons. So that is by choice. So if there's ever anything that's pulling down on the Joy-Cons with weight, they will just remove with force instead of just breaking on you, which is a good thing. I do like that. But yeah, that's cool that we have some cool satisfaction in removing and adding the Joy-Cons to the console itself. Another thing that I really do love about the Switch 2 is the updated eShop. Now the eShop is not freaking slow. It actually boots up really fast. It's on point, loads up videos, the game details. It loads everything up really fast, whether you're going in and out of other games. I love it. The eShop is super improved with the Switch 2, and that alone is a big deal, having an updated, way better eShop to look around, browse for other games and all that stuff. So yeah, the eShop on the Switch 2, definitely worth it. Now, some of the negatives that the Switch 2 does have is, like I said earlier, was the launch games. Yeah, you have Mario Kart World, but there's only so much that game can do for you. It is overpriced. Again, I did pick up Gardens of Ozum, and I've really been enjoying that. But if you're someone that doesn't really care about the games that I talked about or any others like Cyberpunk, Street Fighter, then it's actually a pretty good idea that you waited. We do have Donkey Kong Bonanza around the corner, so that's going to be definitely worth checking out. You have games like Metro Prime 4, Pokemon Legends ZA later down the year. So yeah, the library is going to be stacking up little by little, but as of right now, if these games didn't interest you, then you're not missing out on anything. To actually just have a Switch 2 secured, because nowadays you can't really know whether the retail stores get them, or there's always the chance of being sold out by scalpers. So it's really cool if you can just get your hands on one whenever you can, sooner rather than later, so you're not trying to find one last minute when there's a new game that you're really looking forward to. That's something to think about. Another thing that I don't like about the Switch 2 is the bezels. You actually didn't realize that it had bezels until you actually used it yourself. I remember when the original Switch came out and it had the bezels, you didn't really mind it. But when they released the OLED Switch and that had no bezels, it was just all screen, it looked awesome. And now with the Nintendo Switch 2, we're kind of repeating life again with the console having bezels. I just wish it was all screen, man. But I'm pretty sure when the Switch 2 Pro, whatever they're going to call it, Switch 2.5, Switch 2 OLED, whenever that does come out, I'm pretty sure it's going to be full screen. It's going to look even better. But yeah, the bezels, I do not really like. Kind of, they don't get in the way, but it could have looked even more sleek with no bezels at all. Another thing that I don't like about the Switch 2 is, of course, the freaking key cards. Get key cards away. Don't want them. They actually did come out and say that they're actually been performing pretty bad. So they haven't been selling as much as they wanted. And that's for a reason. Nobody wants key cards. Nobody wants to buy physical games that are not actually physical, but they're actually digital. And then there's a whole dilemma with trying to boot it up. If you were someone that plays on multiple consoles, like your Switch 2, and then you still have a Switch OLED or original Switch, Switch Lite, having to go on there and then load up the key card there and back and forth. It's kind of a hassle and it's annoying. Digital games aren't digital, physical games aren't physical, and they're digital, and it's just a whole mess. And they just need to drop the idea, build, because the whole reason why they're actually having key cards is because, yeah, Nintendo ended up doing this thing with the Switch 2 cartridges that they're only one size. So one size is 64 gigs. So a company has to fully commit if they want to go digital key card or a physical cartridge, because let's say an indie developer's game is like 5 gigabytes. They do not need to buy a 64 gigabyte cartridge, which is going to cost them half of their profits when they don't need to. Opposed to when Nintendo actually did it for the regular Switch, they had different cartridges for different sizes. There was a 4 gigabyte, like a 10 gigabyte. I'm not exactly sure how many they went by, but the whole point is that they had various different gigabytes of cartridges that developers could have gotten for their games. So if an indie company's game is 10 gigabytes, they don't have to buy a 64 gigabytes. So that's the whole reason why a lot of companies are going digital key cards, which is unfortunate, man. I definitely do not want to buy any digital key cards. I'm a physical collector. I like getting my games physically, especially on the Switch. So yeah, hopefully they kind of drop that, or they start adding different gigs for their Switch 2 cartridges so companies can actually afford those and it doesn't cut into their profits, and they can actually give us full games on the cartridges themselves. So Nintendo, you guys better get on that. Another thing that I don't like about the Switch 2 is the overpriced accessories. They released a freaking Pro Controller. This is my Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Pro Controller, which I absolutely love. And these things I think were already pricey. I think these were going for 70 bucks. And now the Switch 2 Pro Controllers are $85 or $95, which is freaking crazy. Almost $100 for a controller. That's insane, man. Again, Nintendo, I think, being greedy, overpricing their games, their accessories, the Joy-Cons themselves, I think those go for $85. So yeah, the pricing for the accessories I think are overpriced. I definitely want to get a Switch 2 Pro Controller, but I will not be getting one till I find one when it goes on sale. I am not going to be paying full price for that. Again, I would have not paid full price for Mario Kart World if I didn't get it with the bundle of the Switch 2. So I technically got it for 50 bucks, which I definitely think the game is worth 50 bucks. But yeah, accessories overpriced in my opinion. And that's all I have to say about that. Another, and I think the final nitpick I have with the Switch 2 is the whole UI itself. Now, I do think the UI right now is changed just a little bit, and I do like it. It's definitely something better than nothing from the original Switch. But man, Nintendo, give us themes, man. Give us themes. Give us the ability to be able to change the themes, or even like the PS5. You know how on the PS5, if you over a game, the whole background changes, you get a little song with the game. Have something like that at least. But yeah, being able to change your background, wallpapers, having themes would be such a great addition to the Switch 2. And yeah, man, I really hope that eventually we do get them. There's so many things that they can do with them, or even have them be tied up with the Switch Online. You know how you can actually buy things with like platinum points? Like if you go to the Switch Online, if you do missions and all that, you can actually buy like right here, you can buy icons and all that stuff. Like why not be able to tie these platinum points to like themes, backgrounds? That would be really cool. Like make use more of being able to chase for more platinum points, do missions and all that stuff. So yeah, themes I definitely wish were with the Nintendo Switch 2. I wish they were with the Switch 1. I don't understand how the Nintendo DS had them, then they went over to the Switch, never brought them. Switch 2 is here and we don't even have them here either. Another thing that I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, wish that the Switch 2 had, and this is coming from someone that actually games on other platforms like PS5, Xbox, PC. If you're someone that has only been in the Nintendo ecosystem, then you're definitely not going to care at all about this. And that is, of course, achievements and trophies. I honestly wish that Nintendo would add achievements and trophies to the Switch, man. I think it would entice other people to actually play the games on the Switch like me. There was a good minute on the Switch that I did not pick up any games on purpose, of course, because they ran shitty on the console. But I wouldn't mind getting indie games that don't even require much performance on the Switch if it had achievements. But since they don't have achievements, I'd rather get them for PC or PS5 and get some achievements out of it. You know, I know some people don't really care about that stuff, but honestly, if they had achievements, trophies, whatever they called it, on the Switch 2, Switch in general, I think that would be a huge plus, man. Getting more indie games on the eShop, it would definitely entice me to go on the eShop and buy a little indie game on sale and get some achievements. Why not? You know, try it out. It gives me more of a reason to pick it up and get some achievements and raise my achievement points on my profile for my Switch. That would be really cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Overall, I am really enjoying the console. I think it's beautiful, runs really good, looks good. I like the improvements with the dock, being able to play 4K HDR, 120 FPS, all that good stuff. The screen looks awesome. The console looks sleek. It's thin. It's not beefy or anything like that. And yeah, man, I'm excited to see how the library keeps growing. Excited for Donkey Kong Bonanza, Metroid Prime 4, and Pokemon Legends ZA, and whatever else comes our way, man. But yeah, if you guys ended up picking a Nintendo Switch 2 for yourselves, let me know how you guys are enjoying it in the comments down below. If you guys haven't picked one up, let me know why. Is there something, or is there lack of games, lack of this or that? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd be curious to know. If you guys enjoyed this video, again, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. Yeah.